Hey guys, this is Jsnow with another gold making guide for you guys. This one is stockpiling inks for Mr. Pandaria. So once Mr. Pandaria comes out, we start making the monk glyphs and all other glyphs, and the glyph market pretty much is going to explode as it always does with any new expansion. So first we're going to use actually black fallow ink, and black fallow ink can actually be traded for the older tier inks before September 25th. Remember, Mr. Pandaria comes up September 25th, so do not stockpile black fallow ink for September 25th, otherwise you're going to find out you're screwed. Because they're going to change the ink traders most likely to basically make the newest ink that comes out, whatever it is, to be the one traded for the lower tier inks. So make sure you get the black fallow ink and get rid of it now. So black fallow ink is made from ashen pigment, which is all the new kata herbs. Usually the cheapest kata herb is whiptail, so that's where I usually tend to buy. And you want to go for around 20G, 25G or lower. I go no higher than that, then I'm not really making a profit, or I'm risking profits later on. So I'm just gonna buy a couple, but I already have some inks. Once you have the inks, start crafting all the black fallow inks until you make enough. And I'm gonna head over to the ink trader. Now just head to your inscription trainer, ask a guard if you don't know where it is. You probably should know by now. And then head over to the ink trader in the major city, and as you can see, you can trade for any of the inks for black fallow ink. So you want to be stockpiling as many inks as possible to put into your auction house to put into your bank for later. So I'm going to be stockpiling some jade fire inks now, so I'm just going to spam click until I can't get any more. And it looks like I did not make enough black fallow ink for the video, but pretty much just for video purposes you want to keep making it. So pretty much make your black fallow ink and then trade for your jade fire, whatever you're looking for. Now the only ink I would avoid is the ivory and moonglow inks. Now why would I avoid these two? These are the two beginner inks and can be found from the beginning herb areas. So I would assume unless you're selling day one, unless you're on Mr. Pandaria the first hour and you're selling the glyphs, these two make the cheap glyphs. And the cheap glyphs are still going to be cheap, I think, when Mr. Pandaria comes out. So I would avoid the ivory inks and the moonglow inks altogether and just purchase the rest. Also, I would avoid snowfall ink and inferno ink because these do not make glyphs. Now, once you're done stockpiling, this is just for video purposes. I have more than this in my bag. But once you're done stockpiling, you want to be throwing it into a bank, a guild bank, preferably. I have 10 alts on this server, so I actually have way more room than I should. There's also a video that I made in this series on my YouTube channel showing you guys how to get a guild bank for yourself and to make the most maximum amount of room you possibly can so you can store these inks. Now when Mr. Pandaria comes out, what you want to be doing, if this guy stops spamming knives all over the place, what you want to be doing is making 10 of each ink, 10 of each glyph. So once Mr. Pandaria comes out, or the day before if you want, it's really up to you. If you know what glyphs are going to disappear and what glyphs are going to change the day before Mr. Pandaria comes out, then you can risk going into glyphs. If you're going to risk going into glyphs, make 10 of each glyph on the list, every single one. If you're not going to commit yourself to doing that, then you're probably better off not making the glyphs the day before. But otherwise, if you are, you try to make at least 10 of every single glyph that you could possibly make, and then you could sell on day one of Mr. Pandaria. You could also try selling the inks, because of course you're going to be taking advantage of the millions of monks and other new tunes that want to be leveling the inscription. So if you don't want to sell the glyphs, or if the glyph market gets way too crowded, which it might for me on my server, then instead you're going to want to sell the inks by themselves, and you could probably sell them for some ridiculous prices, and people are probably going to buy them because they want to get their their pandas, 525 inscription with all the buffs and enchants, etc. And not to mention, I'm not sure what's new in inscription in Mr. Pandaria, but there's probably some stuff that's gonna make people, want to level it as fast as possible without having to buy the overpriced herbs, because herbs are probably gonna be way more expensive than inks when Mr. Pandaria comes out. So that's it for this video of stockpiling inks in for Mr. Pandaria. If you like this video, please thumbs it up. If you like making gold and WoW, check out my channel for other videos, and I'll see you guys next time.